And we are sorry for that delay. Here we are with game 2 of Dorado Gaming versus SYN Refugees, as we can do a real quick call out because unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, we were not able to complete the draft there. But hold on, Mordekaiser taking quite a bit of damage from the swing top. But let's real quick go ahead and call this out, as we do see on the side of Dorado Gaming, they have Swain top, Shen jungle, Ari mid, Lulu and Jinx bot side, with the on SYN Refugee side being Mordekaiser top, Jarvan jungle, Galio mid, and then the Jin Blitzcrank bot lane. So we can kind of see what these two teams are trying to do here.
Yeah, I think, you know, SYN going for a little bit of a pick thing here. Phenomenal on the Blitzcrank. I really loved Phenomenal on the Karma last game. This is a complete 180 as to what they wanted to do here and who they wanted to, like, what style of champion they're going to play. We'll see how good their hooks are. I mean, this is a team with, outside of, you know, the Swain and the Shen, you know, you do have a couple good targets here, you know, if you wanted to go for this. As we see, they are actually doing the exact same strategy. I love this from them, where Phenomenal and Resilient just push a wave, and then he roams, and it is absolutely insane how easy it is for him to roam there. But now
already Hero Joe being found, Guo gonna be able to get some of the damage, but Guo being taken down so much, ticking as he goes in, but Hero Joe being pulled back in first blood over the Z-Struck on the Galio, as Mini having to flash over the Dragon Pit wall to get away. That's gonna be the first blood over to the side of SYN Refugees, and that's not how you want to start this game.
No, it is not. And Guo barely skin of their teeth on this Jarvan. Like, just the tip of the spear was the only thing left before they went down. You know, really good play by Hero Joe, but it is so unfortunate when you don't end up getting what you want out of that. You know, since you had the roam, you had the prio, you had everything, and now you have two lost. Oh, that feels so bad. You have two lost scuttles and potentially a repeat of game 1 where Guo just gets so far ahead. But Hero Joe, not wanting to give it up, does want to go into the jungle here. Is going to try to push Guo off of these Krugs. But if they don't get this, this is basically going to be, oh, they don't.
They already used the dash, and Mordekaiser now here to go ahead and back up Guo. They do have Phenomenal roaming up here along with Z-Struck. So now Hero Joe being found, gonna be knocked up, CC pulled in and caught in between 4 members of the side of SYN Refugees. This is not looking like a good series for Hero Joe as he goes down to the side of SYN Refugees, and they are just making sure that everything can possibly happen. And what we did end up missing was, I think it looks like Lulu ended up dying to Jin down on the bot side. So SYN Refugees already starting off on a good note for themselves in this early game.
Yeah, and oh man, when you get tilted, right? When you get tilted, this is the kind of plays that you make. And I think that game 1 itself was just a complete tilt fest for Hero Joe. Got the Mundo that he wanted, did not perform to probably his standard. And with everybody, including us, saying that that probably cost them the game. You do not want to start the game out like this, game 2, but, you know, it happens. He just has to remember that you have Moonshot on this Swain, which... you know, is a comfort pick there. You know, you do have the Lulu Jinx in the bot side. You know, Neela is going to be very good at the Jinx in the late game. Need to just slow this thing down a little bit.
Hold on, pulled in under the turret. Is he going to be able to get the second shot? No, he doesn't. Flashes away as he believes that Moonshot's going to be able to get the kill with potentially one more
Moonshot has ult.
He does, but so does the Mordekaiser. Does he want to take him to the death row? Let's see if he does. He gets pulled in, trying to grab him. Doesn't get the pull. So he doesn't get him under the turret and try to go for that 1v1. But Sinja is here, sneaking for the bot side. Spirit Rush used, but that's going to be a kill. Dorado Gaming on the board.
I'm sorry, I should have called that out. I saw it coming up, and I was letting you speak. I should have called out the Ari on the roam. Very good job by Sinja. Heads up play. Super easy to pull off because, you know, Mordekaiser was so low. Moonshot on this Swain is just doing so much. I don't know if it's just a comfort level of not being used to playing against this, or if this is like one of Moonshot's like one tricks that he can pull out. But 51 to 24, an assist now. Should have been a kill, you know, early on, but right now, Yeah, Dorado, that's like their only saving grace right now is the fact that Sinja is on an Ari that is obviously very good at this, and then Moonshot on this Swain.
But right now, it's not having a very fun time. It seems like against Z-Struck with the Galio, going with the early Mercury treads to try to mitigate some of that Ari damage and also gain that little bit of extra tenacity. And then also Galio just in general being kind of like the anti-mage in a sense. It definitely is. It was definitely I believe it was a decent enough pick, especially into a comp like this. Where you're gonna have Jarvan going in, and it's like, okay, you kind of do the whole basketball dunk type of deal, where Cataclysm goes over, the Galio ulti goes over, knock everyone up, and then you are basically having Jhin put the curtain over the top, and then it just shoots. And Mordekaiser's just there to pick one person off and be like, hey, you have been selected. You don't get to play League of Legends today. And I just think that, like, I like the way that SYN Refugees is attempting to play this game here, especially with this bot lane, because I'm sorry, but I know how deadly it is to get caught, especially as like a squishy mage support. You get pulled in by a Blitzcrank, and then Jhin just does everything to fourth shot you out of nowhere. Your AD can't do anything to save you. So it's just really funny as we do see the two ultimates have been used up in the top side, as Guo is the first jungler up here. Moonshot trying to use his ult to sustain. Cataclysm comes down as Galio shoots over Hero Joe, trying to help save his top laner as well. But the Swain gonna drop the super mega death rocket, not gonna suit the mark to try to take down the Lord, and he heals up all that damage. Sinja not up there this time, not up there just in time to be able to try to get a kill off on the backside, but it looks like now SYN Refugees take that kill and they're looking for the gloves.
Yeah, and this is actually an interesting little mini metagame that I wanted to talk about as we got into this is Moonshot. If he waits to pop his ultimate before Jace ends up pulling him into the Death Realm on this Mordekaiser, then he actually can kind of cheese the stat stealing that Mordekaiser gets, from when he pulls into the Death Realm. Is we are going to see the Grubs are going to go over to the side of SYN, so a lot like the first game where they're kind of controlling and doing what they want here. But yeah, so if Moonshot ends up pulling that ulting before Mordekaiser does, then he's going to get the extra stats, and then vice versa. If he can wait until he's pulled into the Death Realm himself, then it kind of steals that. So a little bit of a mini game there between these two. I do believe that Swain is going to try to get this Rylai's completed as soon as possible. He does end up foregoing a little bit of the mana, that he does normally get.
Spirit Rush going in, gonna be able to land the charm. Mordekaiser, you're getting rooted, taken down, trying to walk away, but it's not gonna be enough. Sinja getting another kill up from another roam up towards that top side. Nicely done to start getting this mid laner ahead.
Yeah, and this is kind of a 180 from what they did in the first game. Although Guo and Phenomenal are definitely doing the same thing here, trying to get into Hero Joe's jungle. This is their way to win. If you read the predictions from Zed, shout out to him for his content that he does. They did say if Guo and somebody can get into Hero Joe's jungle and get him far behind, that is a extremely easy avenue for them to win. And here they are. They did it in game 1. They're doing it in game 2. So this will be interesting to see if this really does kind of get into there, and if they are able to do that. Also, if you are an ePork, an Olympus content guy that wants to see more of this, if you see the graphic on the screen, Dorado Sigma versus Bubble Blowers is going on right now over on Zed's stream. It is another sponsored Titan stream, so if you want to see that, you can have that open as well. But don't leave here. Maybe in between games, go check it out. As Hero Joe flirting with disaster here on the bot side.
Yeah, right. I'd be kind of careful here at this point. I mean, maybe they don't have the damage just yet to completely go through. Sinja is here though, but the Galio is waiting off in the wings. Does have the ultimate ready, so in case that does go in, Blitzcrank barely gonna miss the hook onto one of the targets. They're able to get him back off. Charm lands on the Guo, and that's a lot of damage. Jumps in now. The curtain over the top as Galio's trying to come in. They wanted to dunk him, but that's a bunch of flashes forced as you see 3 of them all taken down, and not for any expended on the side of SYN. So I think they have the ability to take this dragon here.
Yeah, that is a lot lost, as you said. And Dorado Gaming having to just do so much as Moonshot
the 1v1
under the secret.
It was so close too. If he just wasn't within that range, I think the Mordekaiser could have potentially taken that. But that's going to be the trade for the Dragon for your top laner. And I think they're not too worried about it, as the top lane right now is already the losing side. So they just, as long as everywhere else is actually doing decent on the map, I believe for the side of Dorado, for the side of SYN, they're okay with it. But we do have to still watch out for the fact that this top lane and this mid lane are actually starting to ramp up for themselves too.
Yeah, totally. And one thing that I do kind of like about Dorado's comp here is the Shen, right? And although it's not doing really well right now, Shen is one of those champions that can, much like the Galio, turn a fight around, right? So on the Mundo, when he fell so far behind, he was basically getting shredded by Guo on the Gwen, like as the fights were starting, if not like before the fights even started. So at least with this one, he will be able to just kind of like power farm his jungle and kind of stick in it that way, stay in the game using the Stand United as fights either go well or bad for his team. So I do kind of like that. And then with Sinja and Moonshot being so far ahead of their respective laners, which I guess Sinja not super far ahead because the Galio does have 2 kills as well. We are at least going to see a little bit of parity in this game where, there is a bigger window for Dorado to stay in this as, Moonshot, 2-level advantage on this Mordekaiser now.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see when you look up towards your top side. As everyone has been talking about with the new season changes, all of a sudden, like, hold on, he pulls him in under the turret. Mordekaiser looking to want to fight this, but I don't think he realizes that Hero Joe's off to the side, gets the shield, not able to pull them in. But Guo, he's ready to go in too. Not going to want to try to fight this Swain, who already has the Rylai's off. And then if Shen just ults into him, then it's going to be very difficult to fight an ulting Swain with an ulting Shen. So they rather just back off here. If he can be anywhere on the map at this point. If he has that ult up, you already are looking at a fight turning from a 1v2 to a real quick 2v2, and that's not what they want at this current moment if they're looking to win this game.
Yeah, and I don't really like Hirojo waiting around in the wings here. I think that he needs to be in his jungle farming up, getting big, or as big as he can. I don't like that he is hovering when you have Stand United up. You are omnipresent on the map, so go and be omnipresent. Go do your thing and go get, your jungle camps, or go, since you saw Guo up on the top side, check his red side, as now that's what Guo is doing. They know that he was standing around there, and now he's just going to be losing his jungle once again, just like game 1. And unfortunate pathing for him too, because he's not even going to be able to push the Jarvan out of here, where Guo is just doing a jungle clinic in this series so far.
My only issue that I'm going to be having right now with the side of SYN Refugees' comp is the fact that, like, where's a lot of their damage going to be coming from, and when it comes towards the late game, especially once this the Swain and the Shen become tanky. Like, once they actually become like the beefcakes that they're supposed to. Hold on real quick, hovering over his red. Guo's looking for him. I don't know if Guo could actually kill Shen on his own, but he's looking to try to steal the red. Does end up getting it. Has the Galio ultimate coming over the top. They're just looking to make Hero Joe's day an absolute living hell, but he's going to be able to get away, not dropping that Cataclysm in time. They wanted to really force that flash out of the Shen, or force something out of him, and that's going to be at least something for it. But they didn't get exactly the job done there.
No, I mean, it is a red buff, and it is more of a lead that he's going to get off of the back of that play. So there is that, and the Galio ultimate is 140-second cooldown. Blitzcrank's actually being chased out of the jungle now. Phenomenal, just trying to do their best to be as pesky and annoying as they can to this Shen. Hero Joe just not having a good game, but the rest of his team is sort of rallying around him now, and they are doing a little bit better job of doing this. And we are going to have a couple more technical difficulties. We apologize as we're working through this here. I mean, this is just the tale of 2 jungles at this point, right?
Honestly, and it's just going to continue to be like this. And honestly, it's just going to continue to be like this if...
Okay, so we watch Antis.
Alrighty, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. It's just gonna be looking like right now it's probably gonna be a small little hill to climb for the side of SYN Refugees. Just looking at the way the Dorado game is currently playing and how their composition come late game is gonna be very difficult because as long as you can't get past the SYN and the Chen, you're not getting on top of this Jinx, and this Jinx is going to be free firing from behind as the Ari is just probably off on the flank somewhere. Crash the Rip Trail into the middle, into the mid tower as they able to pull in Hero Joe. Now he's surrounded by 4 different members, probably going to be the sacrificial lamb for the side of Dorado Gaming, as Phenomenal is going to be the one to take that kill with his Ignite, and they're going to go now, and with the enemy jungler down, they're going to be able to take the straight.
Yeah, I see what they were trying to do there, where they were trying to get they were trying to get the mid pressure and then follow it up, you know, with forcing refugees to you know, come back the other way. But unfortunately for them, they were not able to get the turret down. And like you said, there's not a lot of follow-up damage for the side of SYN Refugees, but at the moment, there's not a lot of damage, period, for the side of Dorado Gaming. So when you can't break into the 2 bruiser and tank, you know, then there's not really much you're going to be able to do anyways. So they're going to have to wait until the late game where Sinja and Neela can, you know, start to scale up, especially Neela on this Jinx. Once she starts scaling and having the Lulu in her back pocket, she's going to dish out damage. Like, there's no doubt about that, right? But you have to get yourself to that point in the game, and I think through Moonshot, and potentially Sinja, that is their avenue in there. They just have to hope that Guo and Phenomenal don't create too much of a gap in the jungle again, to where it's not possible to happen.
But that's the thing too, because this was kind of like almost the tail of the first game in a sense, where we see Dorado Gaming getting off to a pretty decent start in the early game, where it's Sinja doing pretty well, the top lane actually being ahead. And then all of a sudden, SYN Refugees came around and turned the game on its head with off the back of Guo and Phenomenal being this jungle support duo that are constantly trying to cause havoc for Hero Joe. And as we're seeing, I think something that I was trying to say earlier and I just didn't think about it. What I really like about what SYN Refugees is doing is that they have constant need to convert every kill into something else. So they get a kill and they're like, okay, what can we do? Well, I'm gonna go look in his jungle because there's no other objectives up. Okay, well, Phenomenal, just kind of follow behind me, and that's what they've been. That's what it seems like Guo's been consistently doing, where it's like, okay, we killed this person off in the. Oh, we just killed Hero Joe in the mid lane. Well, guess what? Drake's up, and now we're on Soul Point before 20 minutes into the game. So at this moment, it's like they're playing like how they played in game 1, and it's almost kind of showing the same tail as game 2. My only thing is like, as we're saying, like you're saying, there's not a lot of damage right now, but soon enough it feels like damage might start to fall off unless they can take out these carries first, which might not be the thing that's going to happen, as we see Mordecai just dragged in, going to bring him down to the death realm as he's sitting here fighting off the ulting Swain, trying to see if there's anything he can get him on. He's actually getting close to killing him, but now it's a 1v2 as Hero Joe makes it. But Guo coming off from the side, Cataclysm drops as he tries to flash away, open up the curtains as we're trying to get a kill. TP coming in from the Galio, trying to help out with the fight as they chase under the turret, gonna drop right in, and that's gonna be the Mordecai to take it out. Moonshot with no one ended up dying on the side of SYN Refugees. Baron now spawns as they're up in the top side, tries to get the grab, gets the flash out of the Jinx as they almost get taken in by the hand of the Blitzcrank. Resilient though, gonna be able to find Hero Joe, take him out off on the backside, and that's a win for SYN Refugees with this fight up in the top side. Hold on, before we get there, Guo, they're trying to go ahead and try to catch him in between the turret, push this wave in. They're gonna be able to make this dive happen, as Mini literally being less than a tenth of their HP. Guo gonna be able to take it with the flag and get the double kill as they drop Jinx as well. Sinja gonna TP up to the top side, but it's a little too late, my man. That's 4 kills over to the side in that extended fight for SYN Refugees.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was all over the place, but that was also 100% Sinja trying to make sure that they get that turret. Yes, they get like 4 of the plates and they get a lot of money in their pocket, but at the same time, so did
He just needs you. And so it's like, it was just very interesting to see because these two champions basically build like each other, and we're seeing another example of it right now as the two ultis go down. Death Realm versus the Swain ult. Is it gonna be enough? As Mordekaiser is just sitting here bonking him down, trying to drag him in. The shield from Moonshot though, gonna be another one as it ends up being a solo dolo up top side. Mordekaiser ends up taking out Moonshot, and it's just now, there's not much he can really do, and it's gonna be the Drake now for the side of SYN Refugees. They are now taking this game into the taking this game as their own, as they are now up 3K.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no chance now that they get the Dragon. This is Dragon Soul. This is a 22-minute Dragon Soul coming through, and you know Hex Tech is pretty big, pretty good. So that is very unfortunate for Dorado. They started this game off right where they left off game 1, and I don't know what they can do to get this game to last any longer here, but they're gonna have to try to get this game to go to the 40-minute mark. But now with Dragon Soul being down and the the Baron being up and probably a free take for Kuo here is
no, opens the curtains. Neela unfortunately gonna get taken down. And that's going to be Resilient, able to do some crazy damage to that squishy AD carry. This is what exactly that I'm going to say SYN Refugees needed to have done, is if they're going to win with this comp, they got to get ahead pretty early in this Drake stacking, plus basically taking almost every objective on the map so far. Except for, I think, Rift Herald has literally just been what's gotten them so far. And again, it's off the back of this, originally off of Phenomenal and Guo being together so much, and then the rest of the team able to follow up on it. Phenomenal now here, looking at Sinja, possibly looking for the next target as the Baron gets taken out of vision. They couldn't do anything about it. Hero Joe being so far behind, Mordekaiser now being the at the point of almost raid bossing it, where it can just, like, he was so far behind and he can just look at the Swain and be like, hey, I'm ahead of you now. And it's kind of scary for him. Soul plus Baron, it's like, is there any way that Dorado Gaming comes back into this? But as we saw last game, they can surprise you.
Yeah, I still don't think so. Mordekaiser is now, it was a 4-level swap. Moonshot was 2 levels ahead of Fly Jace on this Swain, and now he's 2 levels behind, or I guess a level and a half behind now because he did just hit 15. But yeah, this is just not going their way, and it kind of seems like they just don't have an answer now, right? Like, they went to double comfort, and now it's not working, and now Neela is so far behind on this Jinx. Resilient is level 15. Guo is just being a menace to Hero Joe. Everything is kind of falling apart on them right now. They really need to just turtle this as much as they can and let this tier 2 go, top and bottom, and give what they can, and then hope that they can get, like, Sinja to get a strong flank off onto the Jhin. Because, like, you kill the Jhin, and if you can isolate the Mordekaiser and go 1-for-1 with him with Moonshot and just sort of live, that is like 90% of the damage of SYN Refugees. But if Jhin is allowed to live, if Resilient's allowed to live on this Jhin, oh gosh.
Opening up the curtains under their tower as he's ends up to tag Hero, or able to tag Z-Struck, or tag Neela. Now, Guo going on a rampage as he gets taken out by the jungler. That's going to be 1 kill over for the side of SYN Refugees, as Swain is now found by the Mordekaiser and Guo. Gonna just try to try to get away instead of trying to engage that fight, as the mid lane is now being barreled down by the mid and bot lanes of SYN Refugees. And they can continue to do this. The Baron empowered minions can continue to onslaught the turret away from very far away, as Resilient just sits there and just watches. It's kind of crazy to see that this is why I hate Jhin so much in the bot lane, because if he gets ahead like this and you are a scaling AD carry like a Jinx, you feel completely useless. It just does not feel good to try to go up against a Jhin who literally looks at you with 1 auto and just deletes your life away. And so now, here we go. Dragged back, gonna be able to take him as he goes into the Death Realm. He was looking for the flag and drag, but kind of doesn't make it happen. But Mordekaiser going on a killing spree, able to take out the Swain, and all they're gonna get pulled in as Hero Joe is now taken down. Double kill to the Mordekaiser, but shut down as the Super Mega Death Rocket comes out, is able to tag him. Shut down back over to the Ahri as well. Jarvan going down. They managed to take out the two beefcakes, but now it's still just Z-Struck, Phenomenal, Resilient. making these Baron empowered minions push into this turret. Baron now just ever so gonna run out, but I think they can still take this bat tower if they want to. They decide not to and instead back off as they are at a health disadvantage.
Yeah, it was super duper close. And one thing that, off the back of that, you do get 2 shutdown kills, right? Like, Sinja gets in there, Mila gets a shutdown for her Jinx, and now, this could be the time where you start to catapult backwards. We always say, or at least I always like to say, I'm stealing it from, I think, Halfling or somebody, where once Jinx hits 3 kills, that's when the game is now over for you, because she's just going to run rampant. So as we get closer, Neela starts to get a little bit more money in their pocket, and they start to, get the Rune-ons, and they already have the... I can't remember the name of the new thing where it does 10% extra damage basically every time she uses her rockets instead of her zapper. Her chain gun, once that damage starts coming through and Sinja is able to follow up and Moonshot can start to get a little bit tanky, that's kind of where this can turn around. So we'll see over the next team fight if they, try to fight over this Elder Dragon in 45 seconds, whether, Dorado can go, but there's a huge flank coming from the side of SYN Refugees looking to close this game out.
Yep, here we go. Guo looking for him as the Cataclysm drops it, and they're going to open up the curtain into it as Resilient able to take out Neela's there, and that's going to be the ADC call. Mini going to be taken down as well. Double kill over to the SYN Refugees AD carry. Triple kill as he's able to get him with that 4th shot onto the Swain, and now going to land on the Hero Joe, gets the Justice Punch taunt, and they're trying to chase him down more. Lands the W to stare him down, and is that going to be the 4th kill? Godlike is Resilient as this Jhin is going absolutely insane, and I believe once they get the wave into the base, that is going to be the game. Sinja stands alone, trying to defend their Nexus, trying to stop this game from being over just yet, but SYN Refugees is just too strong. 18-5, 10,000 gold up in under 30 minutes. And what's it gonna be? It's gonna be the end of the game. And instead of padding the stat count, they're gonna take the Nexus, and the SYN Refugees takes the series.
Wow, that is a extremely fast 2-0. That's a 29-05, I think, as the Nexus went down. I think we get an extra 4-second buffer on the back end of that. SYN Refugees came to play tonight, right? Like, they literally came to play, and it showed. They took game 1 by a slow, methodical, playing to their comp, letting Guo out jungle Hero Joe, and just slowly just sort of like take that game 1. A couple bad decisions here and there aided them a little bit, but game 2 was 100% them just saying, okay, we're going to ignore the fact that that Jace is going to get dunked on for the first like 9 minutes of this game by Moonshot, and then turn that into everywhere else we will get a lead. And like you said earlier, with the exception of the Rift Herald, which was used poorly in the mid lane to try to force the third dragon, they had every single objective. And this is how you close out a game against a scaling comp quickly and viciously. Phenomenal on the Blitzcrank. I normally hate that champion in these kind of plays because I feel like it doesn't really do much, and it doesn't allow your support to really do anything after a missed hook or after a bad pull, but they did such a good job of following up on everything. They had 3 different ways to get the Galio in there, and just what a performance by SYN Refugees, cementing themselves now as a 3-1 tied for first place potential contender, depending on what Monkey's Mafia does. Great job to these guys.
Honestly, colored me impressed. I was very much expecting like a very more back and forth series, especially with how, we talked about Dorado Gaming coming into the series, and they were really looking like the team to beat at that moment. And SYN Refugees came out and was like, hey, we can actually beat them too if you guys just, we got to believe in us. And literally, like, I wasn't even expecting the composition for SYN Refugees to be able to win, because I thought that if they were able to play, protect the Jinx a little bit more, and Sinja's doing his thing of like constantly roaming, trying to find picks with the jungler as they try to invade in on Guo and stuff. But they were just like, even in that very first fight in the bot side towards the dragon pit, where Guo barely gets away with their life, it was something that was just like, Hero Joe unfortunately was the one who fell short. And it was just like, okay, are we carrying over game 2? But we still were like, okay, hold on. Sinja is right now 2-0. We do have the Swain, who's up in the top lane that's ahead. There's avenues here for them to win. We just need Jinx to make it to late game. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. And instead, we had Guo constantly over on that bot side,
Hmm.
prioritizing the Drakes, trying to help the bot laners get ahead, which constantly did happen. Phenomenal, getting some really good hooks, especially onto Hero Joe to immediately pick him out. And now they no longer had smite for the fights. So it was actually very impressive to watch how the side
Yeah.
of Sin Refugees was able to play, and they were able to take down Dorado Gaming, and now, like you said, put themselves in a top spot, and now they're gonna have to carry that momentum now for the rest of the weeks.
Yeah, they are, and this isn't the end for Dorado. Obviously, a couple chinks in their armor were exposed today. I would like to see Hero Joe maybe getting on to some either like super farm champions like Morgana, the Zyra, maybe even Karthus or something like that. Maybe getting into this, and then obviously, I mean, this guy's probably a way better jungler than I am, but just going off of what I'm seeing here, maybe getting into a couple champions that are a little bit faster of the clearing and maybe play a little bit more damage oriented and let his top laner be the tank or some other kind of deal. But with that being said, we do have the bot lane um, of SYN Refugees ready for a post-match interview. This is a new thing that we're going to be bringing to you guys from the Olympus casting couch over to you. So we will be interviewing the winners here. So Malco, once they are in here, I will pass it to you to start up the interview. As they should be getting in there. It is going to be the bot lane phenomenal, the support, and resilient, the AD carry.
Sounds perfect. As soon as let's see if we could drag them up here.
Okay, we're having I don't see them, so I can. Okay. Dang it. It is okay. So unfortunately, the Discord isn't letting it. We're just having everything
It's
tonight. So I guess neg. Do we want to say? They can't hear you, but do we want to go with next week? We will end up doing the interviews for the winners,
sounds like
or if Anti can get them in here. Okay. So unfortunately, yeah, we didn't, our own plug for that, but it's just not in the cards today. The Discord gods are not wanting us to have our fun. So unfortunately, that's going to be it for us. It, before we go, any last words, Malco, or do you want to close this out here?
I just want to say I'm glad that we were able to finally cast a 2-0 for I was kind of expecting maybe a
Yeah.
reverse sweep happening, but aside from that, thank you for being on the cast with me tonight, fella. It was a fun time. I'm grateful. Awesome to have a good audience with us, active chat, and you guys are definitely a big part of the what makes this so much fun. And so I want to say good congratulations to SYN Refugees. You guys definitely played some really good League of Legends out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you guys are able to continue playing the way you played today. And from there, I think we're good to go.
All right, well, that was Malco. I am Phil. Thank you guys for coming in. Bredicus and Anti um, on the production crew. Thank you guys so much for bringing this to us, and have a great weekend, everybody, and stay tuned for more Titan Esports over the weekend. Have a
Yes,
great night.
sir.